Yes, it's time for our News Meet segment. I think it's fair to say he's a leading figure in K-pop. Next year, the group BTS will be celebrating their 10th anniversary. A few days ago, member Jin's military enlistment garnered much foreign media attention. Today on News Meets, we welcome RM, the esteemed leader of BTS, who has also been garnering significant attention recently with the release of his solo album. Welcome.
Hello,
Glad to have you.
I were M.
Well, you've been to our news studio before with all the other members of the group.
Yes, 2 years ago.
That's right.
We did.
Is this your first time coming on your own?
Yes, first time.
I see. Why the smile?
It feels quite awkward being here alone.
Still, you have the experience of speaking at the UN, so
That's what I do best.
just speak comfortably.
Thank you.
We'll discuss your solo album, released early this month.
Yes.
It's doing very well on the Billboard charts, though I'm sure it could climb even higher. Congrats. And these days, you're on what one might call an edutainment program, right? You were also the host there.
That's right.
Yes, you released a solo album, and I heard you recently held a small concert.
What?
Yes, you must be busy. But compared to your time with BTS, do you have relatively more free time? How is it?
Yes, I do have relatively more free time now.
Right.
But I think the intensity has gone up a bit. When I'm active with BTS, since it's a team, my share is 1/7, right? But working alone, the intensity and concentration are much higher because I have to handle so much myself. So yes, that intensity has definitely increased.
With that higher intensity, has the pressure also grown?
Well, since everything is happening under my name, there's definitely more pressure, but I think the fun is also 7 times greater at times.
Yes. I see. That 200-person concert. I heard you held that small-scale event just the other day.
Yes, that's right.
With BTS, you performed for tens of thousands of people in concerts. So doing a small-scale concert like that must have felt quite unique and special, wouldn't you say?
Actually, that specific venue was the one I always yearned to perform at when I was younger, back when I was an amateur in Hongdae, singing and rapping on the streets. So at that time, the most renowned artists from the Hongdae area, yes, from Hongdae, performed in that very performance venue. So exactly 10 years after my debut, I finally got to perform at that venue. So as you mentioned, I've had the experience of performing in countless stadiums, but this was a very, very special experience for me. When I was younger, about 15 years ago, when I first started making music, that was the venue in Hongdae, Mapo, where I most passionately wanted to perform.
I see. So you were able to better connect with the audience, establishing a give and take. Was that also an advantage?
The people in the front were so close you could feel their spit, as they say. And if I rolled a water bottle, they would catch it. There were a lot of fun moments like that. At typical large venues, because of safety regulations, there are fences and physical constraints. But at that specific concert, they could practically observe my every pore and everything about me. Yes, they truly could.
Will you do another one?
I don't know. I'd love to do another one. For those curious about how BTS's RM performs in a 200-person venue, the video is available on various video sites.
Yes. Hope you do another.
Yes, I think I'll have to. It was so fun.
Yeah. Just a few days ago, Jin became the very first member to... He enlisted, right?
That's right.
So RM's the leader, but Jin is the eldest, right?
I'm fourth.
Fourth?
Because of my public image and the fact that I often speak on behalf of the group, many assume I'm both the leader and the oldest member. However, among the 7 of us in the team, I am precisely the 4th, right in the middle.
I see. Yes. All the members went to the training camp, and they even took some amusing pictures there, didn't they? I saw them. Yes, yes. And what did Jin have to say about it?
Jin didn't say much, actually. So it seems he really had a lot on his mind, with all those thoughts and such. But when we actually got to the training camp, he simply said, "I'll go, and I'll return safely. I'll experience it first and let you know how it is." He shared those thoughts just like an oldest member would.
An RM to your Jin.
Yes.
Yes. What did you say to him?
Well, what I told Jin Hyung was simply to take care of his body, stay healthy, and get through it quietly, steadfastly, and without any trouble. He's a strong Hyung, so I encouraged him to show that strong side of himself, as is fitting for him. Yes, that's what I said to him.
And the other members, including you, RM, are about to enlist, right?
Yes.
Yes, so RM, for you personally, as Jin was the first member to enlist, you must have felt a distinct sense of significance, I imagine. What was that like for you personally?
Well, we've certainly been through a great deal, both as a group and in our individual lives. And now, it truly feels like one particular chapter is finally turning over, wouldn't you say? It was ultimately a moment that simply had to come, and indeed, one that we had eagerly awaited. So it truly felt as though a significant chapter, a page in the story of our group, BTS, was finally turning. I experienced that. Thus, I find myself with a mix of complex emotions, yet I remain calm and composed. I firmly believe that Jin, who has already gone ahead, is undoubtedly doing well at the training camp. Therefore, I too am waiting with a steadfast and admirable heart.
Yes, Act 1 feels over.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's impressive. Yes. About your solo album.
Yes.
As I mentioned before the broadcast, I listened to it carefully several times. I really focused on the lyrics.
Thank you.
Yes, but first, the album title is Indigo, right? Indigo is a color. It's a blue color. Why indigo?
Well, before this, as some fans probably already know, I had released what you could call a mixtape. It wasn't a full album, but more of a simple collection of songs.
This is a full album.
Yes, this is my first proper studio album, my debut solo work. I had previously released a compilation which was titled Mono. Now, mono can mean single, like mono and stereo, but mono often means black and white, right? I actually worked on mono from 2015 to 2018, and from when I was 23 to 26. I really enjoyed wearing monochromatic colors.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I think I also had a very dichotomous way of thinking back then. I thought a lot about things in terms of two extremes.
Yes.
However, after that, from late 2018 up until 2022, for 4 long years, I created this album, Indigo. And as you mentioned, indigo is essentially the oldest dye, indeed, humanity's most ancient dye. It's that deep indigo blue. It's the first dye that humans synthesized. It is indigo blue. But after that, oscillating between those monochromatic extremes, I experienced myself becoming more natural and accepting many things, starting from when I turned 26. So for me personally, I actually started wearing clothes that had more vibrant colors. This marked a profoundly significant shift for me. Since then, I began wearing jeans frequently, and to this day, I still thoroughly enjoy wearing pairs I acquired in 2016 and 2017. And with jeans, as you know, they naturally get worn over time. As you wear them, they leave marks on the knees and create unique creases, don't they? Like growth rings or wear patterns. Those kinds of things start to appear.
Yes, and some people even prefer that.
So as I embraced that naturalness, I aimed to illustrate the progression of how an individual transitions from a mono state to the blue, inherent naturalness of indigo. Therefore, I arranged mono and indigo side by side almost as a 2-part work to showcase those series of changes.
Ah, yes, so that was the meaning behind it. Yes, yes, I understand now. After listening to this album, I can see why you explained it that way. It's like this album is a diary of RM's thoughts.
Yes.
I could feel it too, but I was hoping you could explain that part for us in your own words.
It's like secretly peering into someone's diary, wouldn't you say? In such moments, it feels somewhat enjoyable, and although it's something one really shouldn't do, there's a certain thrill to it as well. But since this is a diary I've made public, as you mentioned, I truly love using the term archive for it. This is a diary where I meticulously recorded, refined, and detailed every single feeling and experience I had while living as BTS's RM from the ages of 26 to 29. So it chronicles the events and emotions I experienced from when I was 26 until I turned 29. And while indigo is a shade of blue, the particular saturation that comes to mind can vary quite a bit from person to person. So, from sky blue to a very deep navy, there are 10 tracks, and it would be great if you could think of them as 10 different shades of blue.
And perhaps because it's truly an album, like a diary. I found phrases throughout the lyrics that offer a glimpse into RM's inner self, revealing his deepest thoughts. So I've picked out a few. The production team set this up here. On the first track, you say, "When there was only good and not good, perhaps I was more human then." Track 2, "Escape this canvas's frame. Yesterday and tomorrow cast their shadows." Track 3, "When will I write my own poetry? the dreaming forgotten while surviving. Yes, well, I'm not sure. The feelings a young RM has. I sensed a kind of confusion or a feeling of being stifled, or perhaps the emptiness that often follows monumental success. Did I capture that accurately, or did I misinterpret it slightly?
No, I think you've observed it perfectly. Honestly, to those people, the public, and the viewers watching right now, there's the question. What is it truly like to live as a member of BTS? I think you'd likely have a lot of curiosity and perhaps even interest in these kinds of things. Well, many singers and entertainers have already spoken at length about this. But after performing in a massive venue, after personally internalizing and experiencing the thunderous roar of 50 or 60,000 voices, you then head back to your hotel, don't you? When you get to the hotel, your ears are muffled, you might hear a bit of tinnitus, and you often experience this feeling of everything draining away, like an ebb tide in an instant. And as Kim Nam-joon, the individual, there are moments when I appear on the news, granting an interview in this honorable position. However, once I go home, I am simply a person who enjoys books and art, just like anyone else. So I think I've always been concentrating on balancing those two extremes. These lines probably came from that, and in that sense, this album really becomes my personal diary.
Yes, if that was the correct interpretation of what I said earlier.
It's not all emptiness.
Of course. Yes, that must be assumed.
Yes.
Joy and fulfillment too.
Of course.
But why did you, Kim Nam-joon, experience such a sense of stifling and emptiness?
There's that well-known cliche, right? He who wears the crown must bear its weight. Yes, and, as many can surely imagine, the crown that is Bangtan or BTS, is indeed an extremely heavy burden to bear.
It must be so heavy.
It is profoundly heavy, yet it is also, in its own way, a tremendous blessing. It's precious and profoundly blessed, and I always strive to truly acknowledge that I am incredibly fortunate and loved, thanks to the blessings of so many people. Therefore, I wholeheartedly wish to embrace this destiny. So instead of just grumbling about the crown's heavy burden, or merely lamenting, oh, I'm just so depressed and struggling terribly, I truly aspire to demonstrate myself confronting this destiny, to present that resolute facet of my being.
And that's why, in a video I looked up, you mentioned something similar. This solo album feels truly my own.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm twisting your words with this question, but
Not at all.
then in the albums you made with BTS, was there anything RM that you felt was somewhat unfulfilled during your time with BTS?
Well, if I put it that way, many people who love BTS's music might feel a bit disappointed. But, of course, the part I take up in BTS is precisely 13.2%. That's actually all.
1/7.
That's correct. So, naturally, given my particular role, I tend to participate a lot in the production, especially in the lyric writing and the messaging. But there are indeed many aspects that I need to take into account, because for BTS, performance is crucial, and a great deal must go into the visuals, the narrative, the concept, and the overall planning. And as I briefly mentioned before, I initially started making music in Hongdae on my own, with friends who shared similar interests and aspirations to mine.
On the streets.
Yep. So I always felt this sense of duty, a responsibility, that someday I truly had to create my own work, something exclusively mine. But I'm incredibly fortunate that the timing aligned perfectly for this, allowing me to present a more solid and complete version of myself, RM or Kim Nam-joon, especially as BTS as a team has fully solidified and, as you mentioned, is transitioning into its second chapter. I genuinely aspire to accomplish something remarkable, to effectively balance the dynamics of our group with my individual identity.
Yes. So, as you mentioned at the very beginning of our discussion, it seems like your daily life has become a bit more free lately. Typically, when artists launch solo careers, their group success had been overwhelmingly vast. They tend to feel a lot of pressure, wondering if they can carry that success on their own. That's typical.
Of course.
But for you, RM, I'm sure that's certainly one aspect of it. And perhaps you also feel a bit more unrestrained and free? What do you think?
I believe that those of you watching right now can already sense it strongly from my expression.
Uh-huh.
Your face can't lie. Your expressions reveal it all. I feel very free, happy, and, as you mentioned, I've had many carefree days. As I mentioned before, I truly believe the timing is quite good, and certainly, regarding the results or accomplishments you spoke of, I, as an individual, genuinely don't think I can ever reach the level of achievement that the team BTS has attained. We achieved such immense success, and I genuinely believe we created miracles that couldn't have been possible without the fortune of our era and the love and blessings from so many. And that's a debt of gratitude I owe not just to them, but to the other 6 members as well. Yes, so for me personally, while charts and results are certainly important, I prioritize something more genuine, the purity, you could say. I wanted to really heighten that purity and show something truly honest. But when you're used to group activities and then go solo, you can get, how should I put it, your heart races ahead of you. You could say my heart races ahead. Such occurrences, such things are abundant, it seems. But I wanted to elevate these personal experiences into something universal, and it took me 4 years to refine these personal narratives.
Ah, yes, I see. I can sense a lot of deep thought in your answer right now.
Yes, that's right.
I'm not sure if our production team has prepared this music, but if you look at the latter half of this album, you'll see what I mean. Yes,
It's on.
there it is. Is this track 9, Wildflower?
It's the title track.
Yes, the title track. There's a lyric. Yeah, my start was poetry, the soul, strength, and dream that has kept me till now. There's that expression, I feel like you're trying to return to your original intention. I think what you said about the Hongdae venue earlier is in the same vein.
That's right.
So, can we interpret this song as containing the inner answer that you, RM, have found?
Well, this is track 9, and then after this comes track 10, featuring Park Ji-yoon, which is the title track. That's where I eventually derive all the answers, and the message it strongly conveys is don't look back. That's what I am asserting. Every choice I made was truly my best version at that time, so we shouldn't regret what we've done or always look back. Of course, there are nights spent crying, but even then, you simply cannot look back. And you know that saying from our elders, when you find yourself stuck, always return to the very beginning. With BTS, considering the COVID-19 era and transitioning to a new chapter, many things seem to be scattering, wouldn't you say? During that period of dispersal, I gave a lot of deep thought to how I should ground myself. So I went back to that Hongdae performance venue. And actually, I've never mentioned this before. This is truly the first time I'm sharing this, but I repeatedly walked that street in Hongdae where I used to stroll as a child, the one you might call the street I long to walk again, many times disguised with a hat and a mask. Yes, while listening to music, I kept reflecting, what was I like back then? What was my mindset when I started all this? The lyric, my start was poetry, holds immense significance. Rap. You see, when I was young, the genre was short for rhythm and poetry. So it's rhythm and poetry. It's poetry with a rhythm. Before I started making music in Hongdae, my younger self was originally a literature student. I wanted to be a poet or a writer. And even now, though I'm not a poet or writer, I think I'm continuing that dream through lyric writing. So I think I was trying to go back to that time, to the mindset of a poet writing poems, of a writer writing stories.
Lastly, next year marks BTS's 10th anniversary.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. However, with the members' military enlistments happening one after another, as you mentioned, I understand you stated that it seems physically impossible for everyone to reunite until 2025. This news must be quite disheartening for the fans, because there's such a long wait. But is that just the reality of things? Do we have to wait until 2025?
Yes, so currently the military service term is 18 months. Therefore, physically speaking, there is absolutely nothing I can do during that time. However, there are still countless RMY members in Korea and across the globe who have placed their faith in our team and in BTS. I trust they're tuned in to this broadcast, and our members, who aren't typically fond of tattoos, got a friendship tattoo together for the very first time. We each got the number 7 tattooed on a different part of our bodies.
Oh, when did you get them?
Not long ago, about 6 months.
I see, yes.
So with that sentiment in mind, what can I naturally say? What is there for me to do? I can't offer any premature judgments at this moment, but I promise to try my utmost to gather us all again in the near future to present to you the unique performances that only we are capable of delivering.
Right. Yes. It was a real pleasure to hear so many stories from RM Kim Dam-jun today.
I was truly honored and happy.
Thanks for today.
Thank you.